2 Samuel 5:12. And David perceived that the Lord had established him king over Israel, and that he had established his kingdom for his people Israel's sake. Perceived in Hebrew is yada. It means to know by experience. What you know will change your life. This is what David Guzik said about this verse in his commentary. David knew 3 things that made his reign great. Every godly leader should know these 3 things well. Number 1, David knew that God called him and established him over Israel. Number 2, David knew that the kingdom belonged to God. It was his kingdom. Number 3, David knew God wanted to use him as a channel to bless his people. It was not for David's sake that he was lifted up, but for the sake of his people Israel. Pastor Sarah Jakes Roberts said in the message, Claiming Your Inheritance, God gave you a vision. God anointed you and gave you an inheritance when he gave it to you. But sometimes we get frustrated when our lives don't look like what God said. It's going to take all of you to really become who I've called you to be, and you cannot wait until you are established to reach the fullness of who you are. Where you are right now is anointed to help you see the landscape. When we look at David's life and we see that he was in charge of the military and then he was hiding from Saul, he was anointed during all of these things. It would look like he was getting pushed further away. But even though it looked like he was being scattered, God was taking him on a tour of what would eventually be under his domain. It looked like he was scattered, but God was actually equipping him so he understood all of the territory assigned to him. It'll make sense in a minute, but I need you to bring the fullness of your anointing to where you are, because when I finally establish you, I want you to know that land like the back of your hand. I want you to know everything there is to know, so that when you rule, you don't rule with ignorance, so that when you rule with humility, so that when God establishes you, you know for sure that you put in work that cannot be easily undone. Don't modify the vision, because the vision has enough capacity to make everything you've gone through feel like nothing compared to what God has in store for you. Pastor Charles Gilford said, God is calling you to the nations. God is calling you to a global lampstand. I've been collecting words that I've been hearing and standing on these words, and I believe they're not just for me, they're for you too. Pastor Touré Roberts said, God is going to give you blueprints. God's going to show you things. It's going to be accelerated. It's going to be